Hello everybody, Trigger or John here. Been home for a while, summited on 30 September with Jack and One Step. And I got home early in October and we had some friends living with us as they were building a new house, and we put them up for a little while. Renee and Gwen, great friends. And it was a big surprise when I came home. So I came into the garage, nobody's home at this point. And I was going to head upstairs, and I noticed that this door to the bottom where we had an unfinished part of our basement, kind of a laundry room and a storage room, I opened it up and it looked remarkably different. And I saw right away up top that Renee had mounted the Katahdin sign that my youngest sister Joanne had given me up in Millinocket. So I walked in here and I was really astounded as to what I had seen. About the only thing that really remained the same was the two washing machines that are here. But Renee did a super job on this place, and this has become, I wouldn't say it's a man cave, but it's definitely my spot, and I use it as kind of a hiking room. So it's quite a place. I mean, this used to be just a back of the garage here. There was a wall that's separated, basically coming right off the sliding door here and over to this wall. Renee had taken that down, and he reused some of this wood that was in the partially finished bottom of the house. And this is what I have today. It's a great space. Got my Marine Corps emblem up there on the wall. And here's the back of the house with the slider that goes out, and there's a British phone box out there that some friends gave me way back in 1993 when I left my 3 years in England. And it's complete with my 18 map that my good friend Andy and Kristen from up in Maine had given me prior to the hike. So back on the 30th of September, me, Jack, and One Step summited Katahdin, and for me and Jack, that was the end of our hike. But One Step was flip-flopping, so she headed back down to Harper's Ferry, and she headed south. And she had a pretty arduous hike through some rugged weather, caught some of the winter and all that. But I knew that she was going to be finishing about mid-December, so I thought it would be great if I could link back up with her. And so we had planned to do her last 3 days, 38 miles, starting on the 13th of December and then summiting on the 15th of December. And the rest of this video is that 3-day adventure that I had with One Step. I went down, spent a night, and then I linked up with her the next morning at a B&B that she had been operating out of for a couple of days. We had breakfast together, and then we shuttled out to the trail, and the rest is what you'll see on this video. Now, this is all me editing. This is not Panic or my wife here, so I did most of this with a little bit of advice from her, so it's probably a little lengthy, probably needs to be trimmed down and all that. But anyway, I wanted to put this out as a tribute to One Step's wrapping up her AT through hike, done via flip-flop like I did my own, just in a different direction. But I hope you enjoy this last video. All right, 13 December 9:38. Who is this?
Hey guys!
I found One Step out in the woods.
He's rescuing me, making sure I get to the right place.
Actually, I didn't find her in the woods. We linked up at a B&B last night, and, or this morning, and we had a great breakfast there, so it was wonderful to see. And she has 38 miles left, 38.1 miles left, I think.
Can't wait.
And so it's kind of a gloomy day, but I think I caught this on the beginning of my hike, but Senator Russell B. Russell Scenic Highway, 1969. Pretty cool. It's all green down below with moss all over it. But it's wonderful to see One Step, and here we are reconnected on the trail for the end of her hike.
Sunshine on a gloomy day.
And that it is. It's supposed to be crappy for the next 2 days, but I think Sunday will have a good day.
I hope so.
There's One Step up ahead. Drizzling, crappy day, but we're close to Neil Gap. We just went by. There she is. We just went by a sign telling us welcome to the wilderness and all that, and we can hear the vehicles down below. Here we are, Neil's Gap. Everybody says it's either Neil's or Neil. And we're about there, and we're going to come up to the One and only covered place on the AT, as I recall. I think it's about 33 to Springer from here, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Smell fire.
I know, it smells good.
This is it. You're on the one point of the covered point of the trail there, one step.
This is nice.
Hiker box and everything.
Oh.
Climbing up the Blood Mountain, but we came across this cool rock, which I've seen before, but we got to capture it again. What do you think, One Step?
I think it's cool. Looks like
Yeah.
something my grandfather used to build in his front yard.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. Blood Mountain Shelter, which is the highest shelter on the AT in Georgia. People left stuff behind here. 4461 elevation. And we think we're in the bear canister required piece from Jared Gap to somewhere, but I'm reading that those rules don't apply after the 1st of June. With the Lance Creek Restoration Area here, it's raining pretty good right now, but fortunately we're all set up. One Step's down at the water point shagging water for me as I was getting set up inside, and this is not too bad an area. There's 4 pads here, 2 more down this way, one there and one there as we first came in off the trail. We just came down the trail up this way. We're at Woody Gap now. This is the big parking lot here, and we'll cross the street and continue on the trail. Earlier this year in late May is where I had my altercation with a lady. I was up the trail here, and if you go off to the right, there's some campsites up there. That's when she barked at me for stealing a campsite, but it's a dreary day here today. We bumped into a number of day hikers though. We're about 3.8 in that day. We suddenly get a view. We just had a pretty good climb. We saw some sun. So today's been pretty good. I think the forecast is much better than it was yesterday when I looked at it. So I'm hoping we get to where we're going with no rain. But we can't complain. Trail's been in good shape. We had a nice lunch break at Gooch Gap, and we're heading to Hawk Mountain, hopefully 5 or so miles away, and we'll get there with a little daylight, sit up and dry out the tent. So far so good. This is Hawk Mountain Shelter that we stayed at. It's got a bear box over in that direction. It's got another one over there. There's a real nice privy just down the road, and there's a blue blaze that goes to an awesome water source. It's got tons of tent spaces here. I tented right over there. One Step stayed in the shelter, and she's got some stats she wants to talk to everybody about.
So 8.1 to finish, 200 days on the trail, and out of that, 32 were zeros.
Awesome.
So well spent.
Awesome. And look what happened for today.
It's gorgeous.
Sun shining. It's
a
not
beautiful
very
day.
cold.
Yeah, it's really a beautiful day. We had a
Yeah.
fire last night,
Yep.
which was gorgeous. Good company here.
Yeah. Not us. It was other guys that
Yeah,
had
I
done
don't
the
build
fire.
fires. I'm not good at
And,
that.
and 2 of the guys, tell them about 2 of the guys, the section hikers said.
Oh, they finished section hiking the entire trail. It took them about 20 years, they said, but they finished it a couple of years ago. So it was pretty awesome talking to them about it.
Yeah.
And they said it's flat from here on out.
Yeah.
It's going to be flat.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton's in a training bra. It's
that's,
flat.
that's what we've been hearing the whole way, right?
Yeah.
But actually yesterday was a bit of a grind, I thought.
Yeah, there were a lot of ups that were pretty straight
But it was
up.
a good day, 15.9 here, and we have 8.1 to finish. And One Step's husband, Scott, is supposed to be in the parking lot that's about 0.8 or 0.9 away from the top of Springer. So
Yeah, I talked to him earlier this morning. He's was in Nashville, so
awesome.
he
It's
should
all
be
going
here
to come
soon.
together.
Yeah,
So you're feeling pretty chipper today.
I am. I got a little bounce in my step.
You're always pretty optimistic, I must say. But today, day 200 is pretty awesome. You beat me on that, I got to tell you.
It was
Yeah.
long.
Good on you. All right. I just came by the sign for the Long Creek Falls that somebody had written 120 steps to it, and I coerced one step. I said it's worth it. It's a nice waterfall, and it is. I remember I did this a year ago, but and she's counting 120 steps too, and it's probably more than that, but it's not far off, and you may be able to hear the water rushing as we speak. But it's pretty impressive. Long Creek Falls is what this is called. Let's see if one step appreciates the detour on her last 4 hours of her hike. Well worth it. Did you count? It was probably more than 120.
I got 150.
It's worth it though.
Oh wow. There, that's beautiful. This is why you take this trail.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think this is one of the more impressive waterfalls. There was one in Virginia somewhere near Damascus that was pretty impressive. Okay, well here we are at Springer parking lot, 1314. One step is looking for her husband, Scott.
I don't know what he looks like anymore.
Is his truck in sight? All right.
I don't know what he looks like anymore.
He might look like somebody sleeping. No, he's awake.
Oh, cute!
Look at that. One step.
That's cute!
All right. Awesome.
Got a sign from Trolls saying you missed it. The dogs got a sign too? You were behind. Approximately 2 million tummy grubs.
Good one. Good one.
Oh, that is
All right.
cute.
Awesome,
I
man.
love it. Fun.
Okay, Scott, where's mine?
You can go ahead and take it off. Show them the big white belly.
Scott, good to meet you. I've heard about you for a couple of months. Yeah. All right. Great that you were able to show.
Okay.
Awesome.
Look over there to your left, my left.
You knew it too,
I knew it.
you?
I didn't. No, I didn't know it.
You knew it.
I didn't know it.
You knew it.
And usually any secret that I have to keep, I blow, Jack. So
You didn't blow it at
Yeah.
all.
there's Jack and Deb. Made it all the way to Springer.
Congratulations.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we had to be here.
How you doing, Deb? Good to see you again. I'm a little funky, so be careful. How you doing, Jack? What's going on, man? Good to see you. I'm glad you
We
made
got
it.
donuts.
Oh, see, there's a trail magic you were looking for.
We've been looking for trail magic in every road junction.
Brought it. Got donuts.
All right.
Had to stop and get donuts.
Good on you, man. You're looking good. We've been talking about you the whole way, so if your ears have been burning,
We
no
met
worry.
3 guys in the parking lot and they said, "Oh, you're Jack." Oh, I said, "Uh-oh."
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because the other 3 guys came out that we were camping with
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah, those 3 guys were here.
Yep.
So you two met?
We did.
Okay.
We've been here about 3 days.
We got here about the same time, so we just, it got
You went up
Did you
since
just
3,
get here a
yeah.
little while ago?
No, we've been here a while.
Oh, poor thing. There you go. Oh,
Well, I deliberately was
awesome.
having one-step
Thank you.
dragger steps getting out of camp, but we were in no hurry because we only had the 8.1.
Yeah,
Oh,
you did
okay.
good. You did good
Yeah.
because we
Yeah, you
needed
got
that
your-
time.
All right. Thank you.
Well, and I was like just sitting there enjoying, like it was like summer brunch.
Yeah.
I caught him, and he's from Nashville, so.
Well, that was a long
No,
time.
we
I know.
we can also have a celebratory swig.
I figured if you brought
Brought
that.
cups and ice. And
Better happen. Better happen.
No.
And we're prepared just.
How much have you lost? You've lost some more.
Yeah, I lost about a total 100.
You look great.
So, but I was most of it. I'd lost already when you guys saw me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because you'd lost about 70.
Yeah. So just that little bit left.
Wow.
Well, now, I told Rod, I said, now that you're off the trail, I said, now I can just breathe a sigh of relief.
My
So,
second
everybody's
cousin-
off
I was
now.
talking on the phone with my second cousin Friday night. Where's One Step? How's she doing? Yeah, she's never even, well, other than pictures, she's never seen you. You've never seen her. Well, she's as worried about you as anybody.
Oh, that's sweet.
But she, almost every week she'll ask about you.
Oh wow.
Awesome.
That is sweet.
So,
That's
and
awesome.
Mother
And of
calls
course,
you.
she already knew that Trigger was off the trail, so she wasn't worried about him.
And Mother can't get. She'll ask about you almost every day, but she calls you 1 foot.
1 foot, 1 foot at a time.
That's close enough.
I said, it's one step, Mother.
That's right. I can stick 1 foot in my mouth at a time. Sometimes you have to open wider to change feet.
Yeah, she's missing part of the bottom of one of her shoes, and sure enough, she twisted that foot yesterday. So
Oh yeah, I made these things last. I was gonna.
Those are pretty.
Actually, kind of pretty, aren't they? I mean, besides the.
although I must say, the other day when we were mountain crossing, she was going to buy a set, but they didn't have any of the huckers or heckers. Or,
You want? Rod's got some cold water.
I would buy so.
We got cold
Wait,
water, we
what-
have Gatorade,
So,
and we
did you
have
bring me any tea?
JD Honey.
Yes, he brought me tea. I asked.
they were having a little celebratory drink here, and I blame this guy, Jack, because this is Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey, and I think Jack got us on board with this somewhere in
This
New
became the
Hampshire
family drink.
or Maine, and we ended up, because they put this in a pint plastic bottle, we could take it out to the trail. And there were more than a couple of times where we got a little silly out in the woods.
Somebody did.
Yeah. Oh no, you two were silly out in the woods.
Yeah, I must say, One Step, we were at one place and we were set up on tent platforms. I forget exactly where it was, but we were setting our tents up, and at least every time I set one part of my tent up, I would take a little belt.
You
I
gotta
got
celebrate getting
I got
it
the
done.
footprint down, belt. I got my tent laid out, belt. I said, Jack, we got to get
Got my
going here.
poles.
And I think most of my pint of Tennessee Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey was gone, setting the tents up. And but it was pretty cool. Yeah. And One Step came over, and there wasn't much of mine left, but Jack had some left over. But it was good. But I'm glad he brought it, Jack.
All good.
What's there? All right, here's One Step. She just got to Springer Mountain. She's basking in the glory of a nice sunny day. And there she is next to the first blaze, which is her last. Did you touch it yet?
Oh,
You gotta roll over and touch it. There you
there
go.
it is.
All right, there you go. 2192.0 in the books.
Sleep here now.
Good for you. There's another guy from Austria. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is G Funk. Yeah, like you said, I'm from Austria.
Yeah.
And I started on Katahdin on August 23rd.
Wow.
And here I am.
And you finished today. How many days total?
115.
115. Holy guacamole. And now you're heading back to Austria for Christmas.
Exactly.
Good
yeah.
for you. Congratulations, G
Thank
Funk.
you. Thanks.
Well done. That we met from Austria. He's a triple crowner. He's completed the AT, the PCT, and the CDT, and he also did the AT a couple years ago, so it was pretty remarkable. Yep, and One Step's flying down the mountain here, and I have to chase her. But we're only a quarter mile away from the parking lot, so it's all done. This is bonus 0.9 mile. This don't count. She's already got 2192 under her belt. So what's next, One Step?
I think I'm gonna go to Disney.
And I think she might be pretty literal when she says that. I think she and Scott, her husband,
So we'll have to ask where, because my husband's got a surprise trip. But knowing him, it's Disney.
awesome. Well, I wish I could go with you, but
Oh yeah,
you're gonna have a great time.
I'm gonna eat my way through Epcot.
It's well worth it.
Epcot.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, One Step. I was glad me and Jack could be a part of the end of your adventure.
That meant so much to me, you guys. It really did.
You're
Oh
awesome.
my gosh.
Well, I was pleased and honored to be a part of your final 30 plus miles.
Nothing happens to you, it happens for you.
Yeah. And if I survive getting down the rest of this trail, it'll be all good. So I think I need to put the camera away before I bust my butt and they have to medevac me out of here.
I'll drag you out. It'll be by your lack of your hair.
That's it.
Manager at a Walmart store.
Go break it.
And she needed to hire an employee, so she advertised and she got 4,000 applications. Or was it 400? It doesn't matter.
It's a lot.
So she finally got through going through them and took her forever. And long and the short of it is there were 4 candidates that she just couldn't eliminate. She said, these are all equally good. I'll have to choose from these 4. Happened to all be guys. So she couldn't make up her mind. She decided, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have them all come in at the same time, and I'm going to give them one question, and whoever has the best answer, that's who gets the job. So the day came, and the 4 guys came in, and they gathered in a very small conference room in the back of the Walmart store, and she went in and explained what she was going to do. They all said, okay. So she said, here's the question. What is the fastest thing you know? What is the fastest thing you know? So the first guy thought for a minute and he said, a thought. It just pops in your head instantly. Okay? Looked at the second guy and he said, a blink. Like the blink of an eye, it happens so fast you don't even notice you've done it. I said, okay. Looked at the third guy and he said, well, I grew up on the ranch. If you walk out on my dad's front porch, there's a light switch there. If you flip that switch 200 yards out in the pasture, where the barn is, the light comes on. And it's instant. As soon as you flip that switch, the light comes on. That's the fastest thing I know. She thought to herself, I got my man. Now what could be faster than the speed of light? But there's one more guy. This old guy named Elmer. She looked down at the end of the table and said, what about you, sir? And he said, well, I've been thinking about what these other guys said. And I think the fastest thing I know is diarrhea. They all looked at him like he was crazy, and she said, what? He said, well, let me explain. Last week I wasn't feeling too good. Before I could think, blink, or turn on the light, I shit my pants.